welcome everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar. We will be talking here about Scylla, the integration of Scylla with the Nx Network Optix, and then we will be we'll take turns. We'll introduce the companies, what we do, and then we will also talk about the integration itself. And we will show you a real life demo of how it works when conjugated. And with this short, brief introduction of me, then the word goes to you, Tony. Well, I am Ara Ghazaryan, lead data scientist and technical co-founder at Skyla, which will be introduced a bit later. And my
Tony
co-host,
Luce, CMO at Network Optix. So Network Optix is a software development company. We're about 80% technical. The core of our business is providing software and support to what we call powered by Nx partners. And we also sell our own VMS in various markets around the world called Nx Witness VMS, which we'll be talking about a little bit more here in a second. But we're 80% technical as a result. Most of our team is made up of developers, tech support, and engineers. Based out of Burbank, California. I'm actually in College Station, Texas myself, where I relocated during COVID. We have people in Moscow. A big part of our dev team resides there, as our co-founder was originally from Moscow. We have a team in Taiwan. We have teams in Amsterdam, Adelaide, Australia, Paris, France, Barcelona, Spain, Kiev, Ukraine, and lots of different places around the world that are doing field sales support and marketing and all that kind of good stuff. So in terms of what we do as a company, we have a platform, a video development platform called Nx Meta. And it's called Meta because it's a video platform used to create video platforms. So it's about as meta as you can get. And Meta has a set of APIs and SDKs that allow you to integrate to third-party tech. And go ahead, Ara, you can skip forward. So, and with Meta, you can create powered by Nx products. So basically VSaaS solutions built for specific markets with video at its core. And a good example of that is our product Nx Witness VMS, which is built for surveillance and sold via distributors around the world. And then the third component to our platform, which is really interesting and which we're talking about today, is the Works with Nx section, what we call the Works with Nx marketplace. So that's an ecosystem where partners and customers and users can discover and promote integrated and complementary technologies like Skyla, right? So that is our kind of product suite. So in terms of what are the advantages of working with Nx or building a powered by Nx SaaS solution or VSaaS solution? You go ahead, Ara, you can go to the next slide. First one is it's full stack. It's private labeled. You can put your brand on it, and you can create a SaaS-based model, a recurring revenue model. We like to call ourselves like a WordPress for IP video. If you're not familiar with WordPress, maybe you can go look it up. Basically, it's a platform that drives the majority of websites around the world. And what it does is it solves 95% of the use cases that you need to build a website. And in our case, build a video platform out of the box, right? So it's got a cloud layer, a server application layer, desktop client, mobile app, developer tools, and it's got that Works with Nx ecosystem where you can pick and choose from existing integrations. Because Works with Nx integrations, once you do an integration with Meta, you're integrated with all downstream powered by Nx products. So, Ara, can you hit the button a couple times? I think there's some animation stuck in there. There you go. So there you go. So over the last 9 years or so, we've had 26 releases. We've developed 312 new features. And this is kind of our full stack platform with all the different components added into it. All right, so I'm going to go over each component real quickly, just so you understand what it is Ara is integrating to. So in our platform, we have a public cloud application called NS Cloud. And the purpose of this thing is really to connect your systems to cloud and allow you to manage an unlimited number of systems. You can manage and monitor your system's health and devices. You can control your customers' access to systems with custom roles. You can easily integrate with existing third-party cloud infrastructures via the Cloud API or automation tools like Zapier. And you can, come up with we have pre-packaged cloud storage options, which are coming out pretty soon. So you'll be able to also back up your footage from your local facility or your local system to the cloud for long-term storage. And that's supported on all major browsers. Sorry, go ahead, Ara, next one. And then there's NX Server. The server application is a super lightweight cross-platform media server, and it manages system connections, data access, and automations. We do have a unique architecture, what's called a server hive architecture, where every single server is equal. Doesn't matter if it's on an ARM device or a big Xeon or running in a virtual environment. They all will, if they're in a single system, they'll see each other and they'll synchronize data, and that allows us to do things like failover and a couple of cool features that are built right into the platform. Some other nice things about the server is there's no prerequisite software required. So the database is included. You don't need MySQL, you don't need .NET and all the stuff that you'd have to typically install with competitive solutions. It's a what we call a 2-minute install. It's extremely lightweight, can even run in cameras, and it auto discovers tens of thousands of devices from, I think the number now is like 640 manufacturers. So every week, the number of devices we support goes up. All right, go ahead, Ara, sorry. No, Desktop is our client application, which you'll be seeing later in Ara's demo. And the real key to this is it's just got this real flexible grid interface that allows you to basically pull in video, pull in web browsers, pull in images, and create kind of your own layouts and then share those layouts downstream. It also does things like switching to video wall mode so you can control it remotely. Runs on Windows, Apple, or Linux devices. Again, no prerequisite software required, and also no heavy GPUs required. This thing runs on, Atom processors fairly well because we have adaptive scaling built into it. All right, our next one. And then there's NX Mobile, which is part of the platform, and the mobile application is just on-the-go viewing and control and management of your system from your iOS and your Android devices. So everything you want to do from your phone, basically. Go ahead. The developer tools is really a big advantage for Network Optix in general, and I think Ara can speak to it a little bit, but our developer tools are built by developers for developers with the idea that we want to enable rapid integrations. So there's a server API, there's a cloud API. Today, we're going to be reviewing the metadata SDK level integration that Skyla's done. There's a storage SDK, there's a video source SDK, and we have open source desktop client, which is going to be available to our Powered by Nx platform partnership pretty soon. So with these developer tools, you can create integrations like Skyla's done to put in the works with the Nx ecosystem, which is a documented integrations ecosystem where companies can integrate with us and then be integrated with all of our downstream products to give them more access to more cameras to do cool analytics on, or whatever they want to do with the product, but also to allow our customers to choose from these kind of pre-made integrations to create their own market-focused solution. So that's Network Optix. That's real brief, real quick, because I want to leave a lot of time for Ara to show his software and show the demo and let you guys ask questions. But if you have any questions, just hold them off till the end, and we'll be happy to answer then. So back over to Ara.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks, Tony. And yeah, at the end of the presentation, we'll have a Q&A session, so you can type your questions in the relevant section, and we'll go through most of them, or if not all of them. So yeah, thanks a lot again for the presentation. I will add to that when I will be speaking about the integration itself. But before that, let me speak a couple of words about Scylla, the company I represent. Scylla is a real-time physical threat detection solution, and we utilize computer vision and namely AI to detect objects and anomaly behavior and alert in case of detection. At Skyla, our mission is to empower the private security industry with next generation solutions. And with every new product in mind, we strive to make it more accessible to those who could not otherwise afford it. And it started in 2018 as a startup. Since then, we have registered an exponential growth, and we now have the recognition worldwide across the line between startup and established company. And we have impressive portfolio of clients. You can see a few of them in this slide. Well, to name a few, I would say Major League Baseball, Daimler, Chicago Cubs, Oman Airports, Iowa State Fair, etc., etc. So yeah, what exactly do we do? I would actually describe the company from, let's say, your perspective, from your point of view, potential clients and users of that. So I would talk briefly about the suites per industry, and also I would highly encourage any one of you who is interested to dive into our website, which is Skyla AI, and you can find all of this information divided by industry. Divided also, I would advise you to go into case studies that are, well, pretty self-applicatory, that they will explain you how exactly the solutions work, when they can be applied, etc., etc. Here today, I will still go over a few of them in detail, especially in terms of those that are already integrated, fully integrated with NX, and those that will be integrated in very near future. So what in general, in a few words, if I have to describe our solutions, I usually tend to bring the analogy between a very famous Netflix and a conventional DVD player. And while Netflix is like adapting and changing and provides all of these versatile functionalities that can accommodate your own needs and your own preferences, while conventional DVD player is very straightforward, does one single particular job, and if you want to alter it, there's no way, just toss it away. That's why I assume most of you do not use it anymore these days. So we, in short, what we do, we augment existing network of security providing solutions. That usually we are talking about CCTV network, together with possible access control or other solutions out there that are comprising your solution, your security solution. And we do minimize costs. We eliminate or tend to eliminate human factor errors that are abundant in this in the industry. Whoever is in the industry, you know that it's one of the main problems out there. And so we reduce the manual labor, and we provide a lot of automation tools and scalability. So you do have your solution based on 10 camera, you augment it, and then you can spread the network, because the same person now can overview the whole I don't know, like 100 or 1,000 cameras in your area. So if I have to really outline the solutions per direction or per module, this is how we usually dissect them. There are intersections, and some of the solutions exactly, they are combined in relevant suites. So I would still recommend you go on the website and look into suite, because they are tailored per industrial industry level, and per location and per use case. But in general, they are comprised of this following modules. A few of them I will briefly go over, and especially those that I will showcase. The others can be found on a website. Also, I will highly encourage you to go and download the white paper, which comprises all the details on accuracy standards of in-field installations, real-life installations, and all the details that are underneath. So what Scylla does, again, it's computer vision based, AI based solution that needs video feed, video information. It analyzes the video or image. I would say in some cases it is just mere one single image. Detects the objects or actions of interest that you are interested to detect. It also identifies, classifies the object or identifies the person face recognition wise, and then it notifies. In less than a second, you get the alert full together with all the information, all the metadata, which is extremely crucial to plan the counteraction, to minimize the problem, to neutralize the problem, and to minimize the effect of it. And as I said, what we focus on is, of course, speed, lightweightness, of course, so it is affordable on many aspects, and then also the accuracy. Of course, we have unsurpassed accuracy metrics, and the solutions are out there in the field, working on day-to-day basis, and surprising people who are using them. And I would go through few of them, not all of the solutions, but few of them, the key ones. And I usually start with this one, the object detection, or as would probably like easier to explain, I would emphasize the weapon detection part of it. That's our flagman. That's what we started the company with. We started the company by developing this particular solution back there. Then, and basically what it does, it is transforms the surveillance solution that you have, the surveillance routine, to proactive, because it detects the weapons instantly, and it provides all the information to get to the site, to track the person. Actually tracks the person even if the weapon is tossed away, so you can still track the person, understand who is, where he is, and neutralize as soon as possible. As a side product of it is a personal protection equipment detection, which is detecting the carriage of masks, helmets, and protection vests, etc., etc. So yeah, that's the object detection part. A very short, tiny video that will represent how it works in reality. You get the notification on the dashboard, and you get the notification instantly on the mobile app that contains all the information that you might need. And the other direction is the anomaly detection and behavior recognition system. As opposed to the previous one, this one is analyzing the action itself. So it doesn't focus on the objects, but the actions they are involved in. And well, this list of the objects that we currently detect says for it. We detect here fight, which is like violence, fighting, smoke and fire, and abnormal shopping behavior that might result in shoplifting eventually, and then slip and fall detection also. So yeah, this solution works totally on the action, so the not per frame, but the video chunk is needed. And again, a very short video of representation, a few fast movements and like aggressive movements, and the solution will detect this, and this chunk of video will be sent to the dashboard and mobile endpoints that are connected. Okay, and again, very short one, smoke and fire detection. Yeah, we have smoke detectors everywhere, but usually things have to go pretty rough, so the smoke detector is activated. And in this particular case, outdoor, it never works, as you can guess. But based on the visual content, when there is a fire or a smoke, the system will immediately detect and inform the relevant party. So again, and one of the recent solutions that we also provide to places where we're talking about a lot of people, a crowd of people, etc. Is a person search. Well, again, as the solution does what it says, it's an aid to the supervising agents or officers to find people who are missing. And the good thing and the know-how about it is that it is looking for people based on the appearance, not the facial biometrics. And that the good part about it is that, well, face is not always visible. And the uniqueness about it is that it looks based on the overall appearance. So even if a person is, in a hood or is not looking towards the camera, which is a pretty hard case for the face recognition, basically the latter does not work. And a person search would work, and we can still detect a person and report based on outfit. Okay, so the intrusion detection and perimeter protection. This one I will showcase today. Well, again, it's pretty straightforward. Detects a person that is in this certain area, in an active area, and you can also outline the schedule, time schedule, and whenever there's a person in this time schedule, there will be a detection and the frame will be sent. This particular solution is utilized in two ways. One of them will be 24/7 when the camera is being watched and the stream from the camera is directed to the solution and it is being monitored constantly. And the other version is what I'm going to show you. It is actually, we call it false alarm filtering, because cameras are currently like 99% of especially IP cameras, they all have motion detection. And they are engaged in this type of security. Well, they are engaged in security protocols. As in, if there's a person in a certain area, if there is a change in a certain area, movement in a certain area, you get the alert. The problem there is that there are lots and lots and lots of false positives a day per camera, and eventually these type of systems are being turned off because they are annoying, they're not informative. So guards are losing their guards in terms of detection and their attention because again, we're talking about hundreds of false positives a day per camera in a general installation. And what we provide here is called basically false alarm filtering. So the alert comes to Scylla system, then it is filtered in terms of if there is a person or a vehicle in the scenery, and then if that's the case, then the alert is forwarded to the end user. So we are minimizing false positives in several installations. Up to 99% of alerts were recognized as false. So instead of getting thousands of alerts, you end up getting a few, less than a dozen. So, and as an example, these are some statistics I pulled out today and from some of the recent installations. And as you can see, for some reason, they have lots of false positives. That can be mostly due to, well, let's say not so optimal installations, but then still, they would never use this system as a false alert system, as an alerting system, because, well, getting 9.3 thousand alerts is, well, not realistic. And if you reduce them, then yeah, possibly you can get some meaning from the system. So yeah, that's what exactly I'm going to show you here in terms of the integration. And that's when I want to talk about the integration itself with Scylla and the Network Optix. And I will start with a token of appreciation to Network Optix, because the platform they developed is from developer point of view is a blessing. So it's very easy, and the documentation is very very well written, and it's a pleasure to work with. You basically have everything you want. It's just a sequence of steps you have to take, and you get the end product. There are no requests, and you no need to contact the technical support for this or that, etc. So this is it's really very easy, straightforward. So far, what we have with Network Optix, we have a few solutions already integrated. The others, all of our solutions eventually are going to be fully integrated. The others are on the way. And we have 24/7 analytics of intrusion detection. So we get the video streams from Network Optix, we analyze, and we send it back to the dashboard the way I will show you. And also we have also, as I said, false alarm filtering. So when the system, Network Optix, is doing all the pre-analytics on site, it is doing motion detection. Whenever there is a motion, then these frames are sent to Scylla servers to be checked if there is a person or not, and or to be checked if there's a weapon on this frame or not. So I will be showing you both. And actually, well, if I have to dissect this particular show, the demo, I'm going to show you Scylla false alarm filtering in action plus weapon detection in action. But a few words how exactly it was done. It was developed on above mentioned metadata SDK, and basically it allows us, again, very straightforward, is to get the streams from Nx. That was pretty straightforward and easy, and a blessing. So whenever there's a client, potential client who is running Nx, we're like, yes, cool. So it will be one way is very straightforward. So we developed a two-way integration when the alert gets back to Nx dashboard, because usually we have our own dashboard, but usually people do not like the fact of clogging the screen or having another screen. They already have this kind of a pain of screens, and they want to get every single bit of information on the same screen. That's what the two-way integration does. And basically what the pathways that shown on this chart, what happens that the analytical the event is being sent to a Scylla server, or usually on the cloud. It can be also installed locally if you have any issues in connectivity or privacy or whatever. This server can be installed locally, but I will show you the cloud deployed installation. And when there is this analytics event, in this current scenario, we configure the motion detection. It can be any other event actually. So then the frame is being sent to the server and being verified, and you get only to get the response on the dashboard only if the alert is confirmed, verified by Scylla server. And again, it's very straightforward. The plugin, where basically we have developed a plugin which is being installed in Windows by general next finish thingy. Very boring. So I'm not showing you the installation of plugin. And then after the plugin is installed, you are a few clicks away from utilizing it. Basically, it's very straightforward. You have to show, as I will show you, you have to put the API of the API URL where you will be sending the frames for the check. For this, we have two URLs, person and weapon. And then the API key, basically it's the
authentication, right?
Exactly, yeah. So this is the part that says you have paid for it. And then the media folder, local folder, if you want to record, want to store the detections or the metadata, the video files, etc., in the local folder, you also put in this particular folder, and that's it. But basically, usually you have everything else already configured. You have already motion detection configured, the region of interest, and then you enable the plugin, and you're good to go. So what it does in this particular solution, again, you can relate all of this to every other solution that you have introduced. If you have a fight, you will get it. If you have a smoke and fire, you will get it here, etc. But in this particular case, it's filtering the false positives. So if there's a leaf or an animal or anything, a light flickering in the indoor environment, you will not get this alert unless there's a person in a specified area. And then and the good benefit, the benefits that you get, you can configure the plugin separately. You can configure the respond to alarms in a way that you prefer. But this whole thing is provided actually by the integration itself, by Nx. So access control, alert systems, etc. You already have it in your system. It's just you attach the end to this A to B, and you're good to go. Okay. So I will actually, I have the recording, but I will rather go to live demo.
Yeah.
And because I'm not in the office currently, in a different country, I will ask my colleague to assist me. There you go. Actually, he's also the developer behind the.
I don't know if that gun is big enough, Ara.
Yeah, we usually walk around with rifles. Joking, of course. So what happened here is that, as you saw, the person, he went in the view and he triggered the alert of the first camera, and then these green radiating alerts are the fact that the motion has been detected. It's being sent to our server, and server does two things. First of all, it detects a person in the area specified, and also it detects the weapon in the hand of the person, right? So this is how it works. To do that, again, I will just show you a few key points here. It's basically a plugin installed already. When you install the plugin, you can see Skyla IDS plugin here. These are the fields that you will be asked to fill. Also, what you get here, as I said, you usually already configured, had the rules configured here on the camera plugin. You have this analytic event, and you already have this in a drop down. So you already have this whole thing configured, and also motion detection, which works pretty cool, it doesn't miss anything, and that's the beauty of it. As you can see, it is configured already also for the active area is mentioned. The recording is also here, so we record a small chunk of it. So this is pretty much how it is working, and I just want to again emphasize, first of all, from the developer point of view, again, kudos to the SDK and the system itself. It's a pleasure to collaborate in that respect. And from the user perspective of view, it's several clicks, straightforward, very straightforward and intuitive installation. Nothing, no hardcore knowledge or skills are needed. Just basically a few lines here, and you have everything working.
Hey, Ara, can you right click on the camera and show them the camera settings dialog as well? So yep. You can apply that plugin. If you go to plugins on the camera settings, the plugin can be applied as well on a camera basis, right? Exactly. So it's not like you install it and then every camera is going to be doing the same exact analytic. No, you can configure the program, or you can configure the analytic for each individual stream, and you can run multiple analytics on the same stream. So if you don't want to run it on that camera, for example, then you don't have to. The other thing is, you see there's primary stream and secondary stream. So if your analytic doesn't require like full HD, then you can also just use a secondary stream to make it a little bit faster.
Exactly.
The other third part of it is you guys your interface is web-based, is that right?
Yeah.
Right. So you could, on the web pages over there, you could actually add the Scylla cloud interface, and you can pull it in and look at it right next to the interface. So you can't see your Scylla results, which is going to be way more detailed in terms of like the information it's giving you about what it's seeing, right? And then you can also see on our system, you know, the positive alarms that are coming back. But on the recording, you'll also be able to see timeline chunks where metadata has been captured from Scylla. And then on the top there, you can search it. And in your rules configuration as well, I mean, you can set up even more advanced rules. So like if you say if Skyla sends back additional metadata, like let's say like in the future you have the type of gun, right? Then you could filter alarms based off of not only gun but the specific type of gun, right?
Exactly.
So you can get more and more granular in terms of how your rules work. To me, the key point is Scylla is extracting all this metadata from video and sending it back to us, which we're storing next to the video, which allows you to search the video inside of our interface. And then if you want to do more research on that particular incident, then you can jump over to the Scylla interface and really look at like the detailed information about what it's seeing, right? So yeah.
And of course, exceptional accuracy is something that we provide out of the box. It's Skyla feature wise, and again, feel free to contact us if you want to see any of this in a demo mode, and if you want to test any of this. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And I would I think skip to the Q&A session. I hope that there are some out there. I think, Anastasia, if you can provide us.
So far, I don't see any questions from the audience. So maybe share how they can contact you in case they will get any in the future.
Sure. From my part, that's the easiest and straightforward will be going to the website, Skyla AI. And then you will not only see your potential vendor of your own part of the world. We have distributors and offices scattered in, or let's say virtually all over the world. And yeah, then there's also a Q&A on the website, so you can type in your question immediately there and get your answers. And from Tony?
Yeah, same thing. Go to our website. I put a link in the chat for everybody, like where you can learn more about Meta and how to use it to create products and integrations like this one from Skyla. So right now, Ara, you said you guys have weapon detection and person detection, and then you've got smoke and fire detection as well that you're working on. And then what were the other?
And fight detection. Fight detection.
Smoke and fire. And then you had like people search where you
person search. Person search. In terms of the integration, it's on the way. I think it's almost done, or maybe it's done these days. I mean, our developer is working on it as we speak.
That one's going to be really cool.
It is, and it is being already used, and it's being installed in a number of places, like Chicago Cubs is utilizing it. Iowa State Fair has that. Also, it's like a missing child search, and also not only it's not only missing child, but also when they want to keep a track on a potential, they already know this the potential hazard. Expressing people, and they want to keep the track, and it's very hard if you have 300 plus cameras to to skip. It doesn't matter how many people you engage. I mean, each and every person can watch probably like 4 screens, especially they are overviewing cameras and they see tiny people over there, and the system does it automatically on all of the cameras simultaneously, and it offers you the suspicions like this. I saw this guy here, this guy here, this guy here. And the good part about it is that this system is also self-learning while searching. So there might be, you put the input is like 1 to 4 images of this person, and it might be not a good image to begin with. But then the first case where the system spots a person somewhere, and you confirm, this image goes back to the system and says, yeah, you're on a good track. So this is and then reference, and then it adds the accuracy more and more and more. And if somehow it does a mistake, you say you reject it, it goes back again. So it's a perceptron system, does the improve the search drastically while searching. This is something that, I mean, well, again, I'm not comparing or competing. But again, doing this on the scaled system, like 300 cameras or so, doing this automatically immediately. Further, you just have the image, immediately you engage the search. That's something all of these potentially crowded places are really interested in at the moment.
And that search, it doesn't do it based off of like the face. It does it based off of like the general appearance, like articles and attributes of like what they're wearing and like how tall they are and like the size of them and that type of stuff, right?
Exactly. So the overall appearance, and you might think, I mean, especially if you have actually voice pretty cool if you have a few shots from different angles. But again, you can engage it from starting even from a single shot. But you just if there are a few different angle images, voice like no problem detects, and it doesn't depend on the angle. And if you know face recognition, it's really like it depends on this type of things. The person has to look towards the camera. The face should be a particular size and well illuminated, etc., etc. So yeah, 99% we do provide that too, and 99 more plus % of face recognition. But there are restrictions. And in this type of venues, not all the restrictions or requirements are met. But person search, yeah, out of box, there you go. There is a question.
Is it necessary to predefine an ROI to enable or improve object, person, or event detection? So I guess the question is, do you have to look at a specific region on the camera? And I think the answer to that is no.
No.
You can do motion across the entire camera. If you want, and I think to Ara's point earlier, you guys were using motion as a trigger for person and weapon detection, but you don't have to use motion as a trigger. You can just send every frame for analysis. Exactly. The difference is just resources, right? If you're sending every frame for analysis, you're going to have a lot more GPU than if you're sending only when you have like specific precursor actions like motion, right? Or even like, I don't know how deep your integration went, but I'm guessing as you guys do more integrations, you'll probably be able to even chain them together so you can make like a smarter integration. Like if this happens, then do this analytic and then do this analytic on top of that, right? If a positive result comes back, well, then you can do this next analytic on top of that. So I think what you guys are going to see is like programmatically, this stuff is going to get more and more advanced. And you're going to have more and more granular control over like how you configure your system to give you back information you need. And I think that's what we're all working on right now is how do we digitize and parse the real world to turn it into metadata? I call it Google for the real world, right? Exactly. Because that's ultimately what we're doing is Google for the real world, right?
Yeah, so. Yeah, right. Exactly, you're right. We don't need the region of interest to increase the accuracies or whatever. The region of interest was chosen to show that, for example, if you choose the region of interest in NX, that will be forwarded to our system and cloud, and the cloud will look for a person in this particular area only. As you could see on a demo, there was a person sitting in the room constantly, but the system was triggered and the frames were coming only if there's a person in the doorway, which was the active area. So yeah, region of interest is typically it's used actually.
It just makes it more efficient, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want like a skies to participate in your motion detection or a window or something. So usually you outline these parts out and then you leave more relevant areas for the detection.
Yeah, it's just like you don't put a camera in every single part of your facility. You put it at the parts where people are going to come in and out of the facility, right? Or in like areas with like high safety or high value situations, right?
Exactly. We have a person who wants to ask an online question. I think I will open up. Berus, I hope I can pronounce.
Hello, hi.
Hi, hello.
As you told and as I see, you have integrated with Genetec Security Center, right?
Sorry, come again. With Genetec, yeah, as well.
Yeah. Integration with Genetec Security Center.
Yes, we do have that.
In this case, if you want to use from Skyla in Genetec Security Center, are you have the additional license for this operation or not?
Yeah, whatever Scylla provides is a separate story. Let's say you have to, let's say, purchase it separately, and the integrations are just merely, let's say, facilitations for the integration itself. You already, usually what Scylla does, we are not, for example, we're not hardware providers in most of the cases. That you already have the CCTV network there, you already have the system configured, and you want to install additional features with the minimal, counterforce, so minimal cost, minimal efforts, etc. That's why this integration is kicking. But basically, you have to purchase Scylla separate.
I think
If
the
that is
question
your
was,
question. Sorry.
Yeah,
But-
my main is purchasing a license from Genetec site or Skyla site. Or
Oh,
both
that
sides.
one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this in particular. I think if you can drop this question in the website, and it will be answered by our salespeople.
We can tell you for Network Optix, there are no licenses required for an integration other than the Skyla.
As my experience in Genetec, because I am an installer of Genetec in many of our projects. As my experience in this section in Genetec, if we want to use from any plugin and additional features, we must buy an additional license.
Yeah, that's typically how it's done in the older legacy VMSs. Is you'll have to buy an integration from, you'll have to buy the license from like a third party like Scylla, and then you'll have to buy an integration license on top of that for Genetec or maybe a Milestone and that type of stuff, right? But I can't really speak to that in terms of what they do. But from a Network Optix point of view, we do not charge for any integration. So you just purchase the third-party product like Scylla, you buy the person and the weapon detection, you set it up, you add the plug-in, and you're good to go. There's no additional licenses needed from Network Optix in order to make that work for any powered by NX product.
Okay, so good. And is it possible that use a trial usage of Scylla in this integration or not?
Is it possible to do what? Sorry.
Is it possible to use a trial demo?
Yeah,
we do sure,
provide.
Yeah. Network Optix provides trial licenses. Our sales guys can give you guys trial license. You can also activate a trial license. Just download the software and press the activate trial license button, and you get 4 free cameras for 30 days. So I'm sure Skyla also provides demo.
Yeah, we do provide demo licenses. Again, my advice will be just to contact our local providers or local representatives, and they will provide you not only the license, but also all the technical documentation you might need.
Okay, thanks you. I will contact you.
Thanks, wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks a lot for the interest. Anyone else? I don't see any written questions. All the raised hands and questions were answered.
I think we answered all the questions in advance.
I think so.
So this presentation you guys are going to upload to YouTube, I guess.
Yeah,
so
that will
be available later.
Exactly. It will be uploaded, and it will be distributed definitely to all the attendees, and also it will be shared in our social networks and most likely yours too. So everyone who is interested can run through it and get the relapse. All right, so I think that's it. So thank you very much, Tony, for your part. Now, first of all, again, I will repeat myself, but thank you for the platform, and all the ability. And then again, thanks a lot. Oh yeah, there's someone else.
Someone else said thank you.
Thank you, of course.
Yeah, thanks to you guys. You guys are making. I mean, the first time we did this presentation was, I don't even know when, like 5 or 6 months ago, when you guys had done the HTTP integration. So this is a more advanced integration than we showed last time, and so as you can see, the integration between the two companies is getting closer and closer. So
definitely,
it's awesome to see you guys continue to integrate more of your analytics into the platform. I know, for a fact that this is the future of IP video in general, guys that are out there. You're going to have advanced deep learning driven, AI driven analytics in your systems in the future. So the more you can learn about it now, and the more you can get in front of the curve, I think the better it's going to be for your business and for your customers overall, because these solutions are, I think Ara can speak to it better than me, but these solutions are progressing pretty quickly and they're getting better and better all the time. So.
Exactly. That's the future. And we are not only, again, as I said, we're not only working in horizontal, so like adding the features and adding the new models to the list that we already covered, but also we're working in the depth. So the plan is to utilize each and every potential, which are like plenty and abundant out there. And yeah, keep just keep the track of the changes and updates that are coming.
Awesome.
Right.
Thank you, Ara.
Thanks a lot, Tony.
Thanks,
a lot.
Anastasia.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.